Welcome back. Round number 5 of our gym challenge here at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera. I'm Dennis Geisler. I've got two B-dupes to my left. It's, I guess, on the right side of the screen, but we're getting into this one. Tyler and Junxi. Two more SoCal staples we have here, both at 3-1. Both very likely to head to top cut. A win here guarantees it and puts them on the top side of the bracket. A loss puts them in that fuzzy area. Tyler with Chen Pao, Rillaboom, Raging Bolt, Landorus Incarnate, Ogerpon, Hearth Flame, and Dragonite. Junxi with Incineroar, Amoonguss, Golden Go, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Porygon 2, and Landorus Incarnate. Both players bringing Landorus Incarnates here. I believe that's the only crossover, kind of interestingly. And they are the same Landorus Incarnates, pretty much. I don't know for sure on the exact stat spreads, but they're pretty similar. And in any case, we're getting underway. This is round number 5, last round before we start getting into that top cut. I mean, we'll get into top cut, like top 8 starts after this round. That's how the tournament works. But in any case, round number 5, getting underway. And the leads are Junxi with Amoonguss, Urshifu, and Tyler with the Dragonite and the Chen Pao. So that priority spam lead from Tyler, the Chen Pao and the Dragonite. It is Terra Normal Choice Band Dragonite from Chen Pao. Fairly standard set with a Sash. Amoonguss is Rocky Helmet, Terra Water, while Urshifu Choice Scarfed. And it is Rapid Strike, as a reminder. Easy answer here for Tyler to try to go for that priority. No switches, we're going to see a Terra here. It's going to be the Terra Normal Dragonite. Going to try to hit for as much damage as possible with those extreme speeds. And we'll go for it. Amoonguss not going to Rage Powder there. Urshifu just going to get, taken down to next to nothing. Chen Pao taken down to just 9 HP on the critical hit U-turn. And Urshifu will get on out of there. So Urshifu, just a sliver of HP remaining, swaps out of that one. Amoonguss and Chen Pao yet to move. Incineroar is going to swap in, so that'll weaken Chen Pao's damage right now. But not Dragonites. Of course, because of that inner focus. Icicle Crash onto the Amoonguss. Good damage there, about over half, and the Spore comes through onto the Dragonite. Will be guaranteed to be asleep next turn. Tyler's Pokemon are faster. Chen Pao does have the opportunity to go for an Icicle Crash and finish off that Amoonguss. Or frankly anything that switches in, as I believe has Landorus in the back. Say that quietly for you at home. Amoonguss will swap out. Urshifu comes in, it will come in, and if it hits, Urshifu will drop. Ooh, Chen Pao protects though. Urshifu gets in for free. And Incineroar, after the guaranteed sleep turn, will eat the Parting Shot. So we'll get its attack dropped regardless. And if Amoonguss comes back in with that regenerated HP, will indeed. Rocky Helmet Amoonguss, so it doesn't have that Citrus Berry healing, but you don't need it if you just click switching moves constantly. The first turn, the Dragonite can wake up now from the asleepness. And it will not. Takes its second sleep turn. Mungus will Rage Powder. That'll redirect an Icicle Crash, which you've already headed its direction. Urshifu with the close combat into the Dragonite. No multi-scale, and that means that Dragonite's just going to get blown up. Goodbye, Dragonite. It'll drop while still asleep. Didn't get the one-turn wake up. The Icicle Crash onto the Amoonguss. Good damage, not going to knock out, and that means that this Chen Pao will linger around just a teensy bit longer. Raging Bolt now in for Tyler. Mungus goes for the Rage Powder there. Chen Pao gets Sucker Punch redirected out of there. Urshifu gets the close combat. Finish off the Chen Pao. Excuse me. Raging Bolt, Thunderclap, Dragon Pulse, Calm Mind, Protect. Easiest answer, it's a Dragon Pulse right into that Amoonguss. Get it out of there. Critical hit. Probably not necessary. In any case, Amoonguss is out of there. And Landorus coming in now. Incineroar comes back in here, Landorus in as well. Landorus will do good damage here, but will also get blown up by Rapid Strike. Terra is not available for Tyler, so it might be... Can't protect here. Close combat's locked into for Urshifu, so not actually a problem. Good spot to be in, to be honest, if you're Tyler. Urshifu has to switch out. And Landorus is what comes in. We're gonna get the Terra from Junxi onto the Incineroar. Terra Grass. Lost its weakness to Landorus's Earth Power to a weakness to Landorus's Sludge Bomb. Let's see if it reads that. Even if it read the switch in the first place. Landorus Earth Power into the Landorus slot. Not ideal. Now the Raging Bolt does get the Calm Mind off. Does now have that +1. Special defense bonus is going to be very useful. And Incineroar will Parting Shot into the Landorus and lower that Landorus' special attack. So both Landoruses are going to be doing less damage against their primary targets. Not to mention, the Urshifu's back in. Well, this does also mean that a Thunderclap onto the Urshifu is kind of, and not free, but it's pretty ideal in this spot right now. Either the Urshifu hard switches out back into the Incineroar, which would be bad. That would indeed be bad, but at the same time it means that Landorus is not threatening enough. We'll see. We'll see what the decision is for each of these two. Urshifu does swap out again. Hard switch for the Urshifu, back into Incineroar. Let's see, did Tyler pick up this play? Incineroar gets the Intimidate down again. Again, doesn't really matter between these two. Does go for the Sludge Bomb onto the Landorus. Not going to poison. Landorus Earth Power into Raging Bolt. Good damage there. And that play might have given this one to Junxi if this... Ooh, Dragon Pulse does KO though. That means this Landorus... the issue is going to be that Raging Bolt does have the opportunity. There's nothing that Urshifu can do right now up against a Raging Bolt Thunderclap. Urshifu does just get leveled right now by Thunderclap. So that's good for Tyler. I don't think there's anything you can do against the Thunderclap right now. Finishing it off would be ideal. Blocked into an attacking move, can't switch out, can't do anything else. And then the Incineroar is on its own. Incineroar goes for a fake out into the Raging Bolt. That's what you can do against the Thunderclap. Flinch the Raging Bolt, and that means Urshifu gets the Surging Strikes into the Landorus slot, get good damage down. And Landorus is now out of the way, but this does now mean that Raging Bolt, Thunderclap, it's going to come down to Raging Bolt versus Incineroar, but I think Incineroar might have this with a one, maybe two Flare Blitzes, maybe a knockoff. We'll see. Raging Bolt is left over, so it gets a little bit of HP back. Doesn't get knockoffed this turn. Get another one. Gotta go for that Urshifu. Thunderclap takes down the Urshifu. Now it's just these two Pokemon remaining. Incineroar, significant HP advantage. Does go for the knockoff. Good damage onto the Raging Bolt. Takes it down to next to nothing remaining. And I think it'll just have to come down to... I don't know. I don't know what it'll come down to. Not really sure what Raging Bolt can do here. Threat Dragon Pulse? Who's to say? Dragon Pulse comes out. +1. Not enough damage, and Incineroar should be able to clean this one up with the Citrus Berry as well. And one more hit. The Flare Blitz comes out. That'll certainly do it. And Junxi with the victory. Very Junxi way of winning. Playing it slow, playing it around the Incineroar very much. Of all the players that we have here in SoCal, Junxi is the one that makes the most use out of that Incineroar. The Intimidate cycling, the Parting Shot cycling, the Fake Out cycling. Lots of players use it, but few, I'm not going to say abuse it, but few use it as consistently as our good friend Junxi. Getting on in here to game number 2. What adaptations these players decide to make. Tyler had a decent start, but getting spored on Dragonite and not getting the one-turn wake-up was pretty bad. So we'll see if that ends up changing in game number 2. If we get different leads. From Junxi, it's the same. Mungus and Urshifu. It's going to be Chen-Pao Dragonite again for Tyler. So, same lead before. In our previous battle, first turn Terra Normal Dragonite on the switch out from... Oh no, Urshifu got hit pretty hard by Extreme Speed, but wasn't knocked out by it. And then went for a big U-turn onto Chen-Pao, which crit as well. Not to leave that out of the discussion, although Chen-Pao was already on a pretty low amount of HP. I mean, Chen-Pao is already, like, extremely frail, so it would have been taken down by not a lot of damage, but being taken down to effectively focus Sash. Chen-Pao will switch out turn 1. So now a Terra Normal Extreme Speed will not get rid of Urshifu. And Raging Bolt comes in here. Amoonguss swaps out, so not going to go for that turn 1 Spore again. Incineroar comes in, which then means that the attack drop is not going to do anything here, since Inner Focus blocks that. And Urshifu U-turns out into the Raging Bolt. Not gonna do much damage at all. What will happen here? Dragonite, the only one that has not moved yet. Amoonguss comes in, probably to try to eat a hit aimed at the Urshifu. Ooh, Aerial Ace into the Incineroar. Good damage, honestly, and that'll do super effective damage to the Amoonguss. Also means that this Raging Bolt is leftovers. Ooh, but it is Terra Grass. So it will be able to Terra Grass and then go for a Calm Mind. And we'll see that here. The Terra Grass here on the Raging Bolt from Tyler. Going to make it immune to that Spore, to the Rage Powder, all those powder type moves. Does make it weak to Pollen Puff as well as the Flare Blitz. Take out onto the Raging Bolt, won't be able to get that Calm Mind up. Aerial Ace into the Incineroar again, not enough to knock it out. Makes it use its Citrus Berry and will not be enough to take a third Aerial Ace, but Raging Bolt will flinch, and Amoonguss Spore going to go into the Dragonite once again. And so we play this game again of Dragonite using its sleep turns. Junxi goes for here. As I mentioned before, lots of damage. Lots of super effective damage into that Terra Grass Raging Bolt now, despite being immune to Spore, for example. Tyler possibly could have gone for kind of Schrodinger's Terra a moment ago. Prevented kind of a clean choice of target. Raging Bolt will protect. Dragonite takes its sleep turn. That one guaranteed. And Pollen Puff from Amoonguss onto an already full health Landorus. Interesting choice, but not too much happening there regardless. Raging Bolt able to be hit by Pollen Puff, and probably more importantly, able to be hit by that Life Orb Sheer Force Sludge Bomb from the Landorus. Raging Bolt will swap out. Chen Pao will come back in. Does have a Focus Sash. Eat one hit. We'll see the Terra from Junxi's side. I believe that's going to be a Terra Poison Landorus. Indeed it will. Terra Poison Landorus Incarnate. Will boost the power of that Sludge Bomb even further, but that might end up in a situation where that, I don't know, let's call it 10% chance of poison onto the Chen Pao is the chance to KO. Doesn't even bring it down to the Sash. Does bring it about to that range. Amoonguss, one-hit knockout from the Aerial Ace, finally coming through. And now this Dragonite Chen Pao team is actually going to start cooking. And they give a big yell. Now Dragonite and Chen Pao in a decent spot here. They can stay in for a little bit longer. Aerial Ace, the weakest move that Dragonite has, but still doing some damage. And if Incineroar comes back in, it's going to drop to Aerial Ace. That's for sure. No damage taken by Dragonite yet either. And it resists both of Urshifu's, all of Urshifu's moves, period. And we'll get absolutely run over. Sucker Punch into Landorus. Okay damage. Urshifu U-turns out on the Dragonite. Does a little chunk. Not going to get all too much done there. But now the Incineroar will have to come back in and we'll have to straight up drop to the Aerial Ace. As the attack does not lower. Sludge Bomb. see who that's targeting. It's going to target the Dragonite. Not going to be enough damage, barely not enough. A little dangerous there, actually, on that neutral hit, but Incineroar will drop regardless, and this does now mean that Junxi's in an okay spot with these two Pokemon out here. Could go for another Sucker Punch. It will be a little weaker, but it will weaken Landorus just a little bit more, and that might be what's necessary. And meanwhile, does mean the Dragonite's most likely to drop. Very likely both these Pokemon will drop this turn for Tyler. Just a little bit of Sucker Punch damage layered on. Shenpao gets the Sucker Punch off into the Urshifu. Strange choice, but gets a little bit of damage down. Surging Strikes will finish off the Dragonite very slowly. That did very little damage. Does eventually get there. Goodbye, Dragonite. And Shenpao, ooh, the substitute getting up for Landorus. That is a very important substitute, especially with a Landorus available on the other side. Does, however, mean that the Shenpao is still standing, which could be kind of awkward to deal with, especially since this Urshifu has no way to block Thunderclap. Sucker Punch comes out first into Landorus. Does it break the sub? 25%. It does indeed. And the Raging Bolt Thunderclap, ooh, does not take down the Urshifu. Barely not enough. Surging Strikes will take down the Shenpao. Now we'll get a Landorus v Landorus matchup. Try to decide this one. Landorus Sludge Bomb from Junxi. Super effective hit, good damage. It one-shots Raging Bolt. Wow. Just straight up, basically from full HP to nothing. And it looks like Junxi's probably going to end up wrapping this one up with the Urshifu and the Landorus. As the Urshifu barely holding on, the sliver of HP should be enough to deal with the Landorus here. There's the Surging Strikes, and Junxi's going to go 4-1 through round 5. And he will absolutely head on to Top Cut on the top side of the bracket. Tyler most likely to make it on the other side as well at 3-2. We'll have to watch the bubble, as many have been doing today. That's a March Madness joke, Selection Sunday, for all of you Pokemon fans at home. In any case, great battle between those two. Definitely saw a lot of the benefits of Junxi's team building and that tough to break slow, bulky, balanced team. We're going to take a quick break on the other side. Top 8 will be getting underway. Don't go anywhere.